Hey, ladies and gentlemen, ever want to become a pilot? Well, today's your day. We're going to talk about our vector treasure hunt lab. So for this lab, you guys are going to investigate and practice the special set of rules by which all vectors must be added. You will have a ruler, a protractor, a pencil, and a treasure map that you will print out. So for this overview, I will let you guys read it on your own, just giving you a little description of our treasure hunt. So, our procedure, I want to walk you guys through a couple steps to get you through the procedure. So, first off, make sure you always are using a pencil, right? Whenever we do a lab, we should be doing it in pencil. Procedure number 2, begin at the start dot and draw a vector labeled 1, 5 centimeters at 60 degrees east of north. So if we look here, I have my start dot. I drew a little grid here. You always want to draw a grid, because we're going to have to find some direction that we're going to draw this vector. Well, the only way to do that is to have axes. Now, this says to draw our vector at 60 degrees east of north. East of north. So what that means is we want an angle that starts on the y-axis, right, the north axis, and goes towards the east direction. So we should hold our protractor like this. We are using our outside numbers, and once you get to 60 degrees, place a little mark. Once you have that mark, you can then use your ruler and draw a 5 centimeter vector. So there we have it. Procedure 2, we have our first vector drawn. Label it 1. Now, number 3 says, continue from the endpoint. Draw a vector labeled number 2, 10 centimeters due north. Well, again, we got to draw that grid. We need to know what direction are we going in. So we have our north direction, our east direction, our south direction, and our west direction. Well, it says we're going due north. So we know that north is a complete 90-degree angle. So north is going upward. So using our ruler, we can draw a 10 centimeter vector going north. Moving on to procedure number 4, we're going to draw our third vector. So for our third vector, it says let's draw a 5 centimeter long vector at 45 degrees east of north. So yet again, make sure you draw your grid up here. We're going to use our protractor to measure 45 degrees. Place a mark. And now once you have that mark, you can use your ruler, using your ruler to draw the 2 centimeter vector. Now, make sure you label that vector number 3. Now, using what I've just taught you through here, you may go on and complete the lab. Just please note, when you do get down to our data table, I did the first one for you. What we want to do here is we want to find that y component and the x component. But what this tells us is whenever we go in the south direction, that component is going to be negative. So for number 1, we know that anything in the y component is going to be a sine of theta. Well, we know that our a for vector 1 is the length. So our length for vector 1 was 5 centimeters, so that will go here. Well, now we need to multiply it by the sine of the angle, and the angle for vector 1 was 60 degrees. Plugging that into your calculator, you get 4.33. Now the reason it's a positive number is because we're still going in the north direction, so it will be positive. For our x component, we know that we are going to use a cosine of theta. We know that if it's going east, it's going to be positive. If we're going in the west direction, it will be negative. So plugging that into our calculators, we have that our distance, or our length of our vector is 5, and we're going to multiply it by cosine of 60. That will then give us 2.5 centimeters as our x component. Now you can go through vector 2, vector 3, and so on. Remember, if it's in the south direction, it's going to be negative. If it's in the west direction, it is going to be negative. For the resultant vector for number 6, make sure you add up all your y components and all your x components, and then complete the rest of the lab. All right, Pirates, I hope this helps. Have a good day.